My love, why are we going so deep into the forest? Where is your palace?
Be patient, my bride. I just have to return this skin to the man who owns it first.
Give me back my skin. Your time is up.
The wedding happened very fast. The stranger said he had to reach his home far away before the moon was high in the sky. Even though the village elders were worried and kept quiet, Omotala packed her best bead and followed her new husband into the big dark forest. As they entered the bush, the birds stopped singing, and the air began to be cold. But Omotala was just laughing. She heard her husband, strong arm and bragging about how she was going to live a life of money and fine things. They walked for a very long time until they saw an old man sitting by the tree. Then her husband stopped. He reached for his head, pulled off all his fine hair, and gave it to the old man. He said, "Take your hair. Thank you for lending me." His voice was now sounding like a dry leaf scratching the ground. Omotala was shocked. She thought it was a joke until she saw his head was bad and white. When he turned to look at her, his eyes were not shining like stars anymore. They were just dark and empty holes. As they went deeper into the land of the spirits, they saw a woman washing clothes in a red river. The husband stopped again. To Omotala's big surprise, he unzipped the skin from his chest and arm and gave the smooth skin to the woman. He was now just a skeleton. Omotala could not believe what was happening. "Am I dreaming?" she said to herself. But even with what was happening, he still walked like a prince. He told her, "My love, I'm just returning what I borrowed to look handsome for you." Omotala tried to run back, her legs shaking like a leaf in the wind. But the road had disappeared. Everywhere was just thick, grey fog. Every time she looked at him, fear gripped her. How did she find herself here? His voice began to sound like the whistling wind in a graveyard. She realized she was now in a big hot pot of soup. This was no human, but a person made of borrowed parts. Just as she wanted to scream, he pointed a big yellow bone finger at a hole and whispered, "Wifey, we are almost home." By the time they reached a very deep pit, her husband turned into a complete skeleton. Omotala fell to her knees, crying and calling her ancestors. But nobody answered her in that place. The skeleton just laughed at her and said, "You wanted a perfect man, but only dead things are perfect." He took a heavy chain and chained it around Omotala's neck. It was so heavy she could not stand up straight. She was now a prisoner in a dark land. Then she saw hundreds of other skeletons coming out, and they were all wearing the jewelry of brides who had once come there before her.